The wonderful Richard Stride, who is the artistic director, of course, here at Groundlings, and directing all three shows, The Jungle Book, A Midsummer Night's Dream, and Darling Buds of May. What are you most looking forward to about directing any of the shows?
I think that they're all so vastly different in their types of storytelling and everything else. So it's quite a challenge to go from one to the other, and also use because we're using the same set, but that does actually give us the chance to really go massively to town on the set and transform this whole theatre into a woodland glade.
Yeah. So in A Midsummer Night's Dream, you're playing Oberon.
Yes.
And you're acting with other actors as well, who are multi-rolling, and you're multi-rolling as well. You're playing Theseus, is that?
Theseus and Oberon.
Yes, you're playing both. So, how is it for you playing sort of a multi-rolling within Shakespeare?
It is quite difficult. I have to do the work. I almost have to do my rehearsals before everyone else's rehearsals. And what I mean by that is I have to have a very clear idea, almost like played like a movie in my head, of how the whole show is going to be. So that I can see myself, or an actor on stage who's playing me, in that relationship with other people, so that way I've got time to concentrate on the other actors. Otherwise you find that you're trying to do two jobs at the same time and it just becomes impossible. So it's just about making that preparation at the beginning, and if need be, having a good standing. You could just stand in the spot and do the lines while I'm looking at the front, etc. But it's just mainly about using your imagination and seeing, playing it like a movie in your head first and seeing how it all fits together. So that's the idea.
Yeah. So what would you say you prefer doing, or you find easier necessarily? Do you find it easier to act Shakespeare or to direct Shakespeare?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think when you're just acting, you're concentrating on predominantly your character and all the characters you're playing, and you're not necessarily having to worry about the whole shape of it. Whereas as a director, you have to worry about the whole entire film. So I think directing is in some ways harder. More difficult, more pragmatical, whereas being an actor, being on both sides of it, the acting side is in some ways a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Well, they sort of have their different...
Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer to act it or to direct it?
Again, I have a passion for the arts, of course. Whatever the arts is, I have a passion for that. I don't really have a favourite.
No,
as such. So it's a bit like my music taste. I love rock and roll music. I love, modern day music, classical music, and I'll bounce between all those different things. So for plays and performances, I love the variety, and that's what this Woodland Festival gives. It gives you a variety of Jungle Book, which is very different from Midsummer Night's Dream, which is very different from Darling Buds of May. So there are three different shows that are just ultimately incredibly different. The trick is getting my head around all three shows at the same time.
I see, Well, the language in Jungle Book being almost similar to the language in Shakespeare.